guys, so this is going to be addressing the question of which is better, the Prife Itera Bio, the Prife Itera Bio Lite, or the Olylife P90. That's the Olylife P90. So that's the question: which is the best of these three devices? So we're going to start by looking at Prife versus Prife. Okay, so first of all, these devices are frequency devices. Now, Prife originally brought to the market the terahertz wand, had amazing results. I, for one, loved it. I recommended it. Got loads of people using it. Saw some amazing things. Then Prife came out with the Itera Bio. Now, the Itera Bio was using terahertz like the wand, but also PEMF, and it was a lot more convenient to use because you just sit with your feet on it, and it's virtually silent, so you can go on and do stuff which you can't do while using the wand. So now I was with Prife, so just heads up, I was with Prife and recommending their products. I never recommended the Itera Bio for reasons that I'll come to, even though it actually does get better results from the wands, mainly because of price, but there are some other things as well. But anyway, I'll get into some of that, I guess, as we go. So, the Itera Bio, the biggest problem with it is the price. Okay, so it's $4,500, which I felt was a lot to ask, even though it was better than the ones. You can get ones, a lot cheaper than that. So I didn't recommend the Itera Bio. I had a few people ask me about it. I always said no. It's a bit overpriced for what it is. In part the price. In part, I didn't know at the time that it also used PEMF along with terahertz. I didn't know that because Prife didn't know that, which is a bit shocking. But so the information that we were given was that it was just terahertz. So I figured just terahertz, for that money, it's too much. So I didn't recommend it. So I'm just giving you a bit of history here so that you understand some of the background. Okay. So then another company, which I'll come to later, Olylife, I just mentioned, came out with a P90, and which is using the same technology as the Itera Bio, but it was massively cheaper. And so I started to look into that, and I started recommending that even while I was with Prife. Prife didn't like it, and we ended up parting ways, but I started recommending the Olylife. And I found out that it had PEMF, so I was thinking, well, if they've got the same technology as the Itera Bio, surely the Itera Bio has got PEMF. And I told Prife that it did, and eventually they found that Prife discovered it did, and so okay, so we've got, it's shocking that they didn't know, but anyway, again, I'll get to that in a little bit. So one of the problems Prife had is that Olylife came out with their version, which is the P90, which is this device that you see here, that this lady is using, and it's using, as I say, terahertz and PEMF, and it was getting much better results than the ones. And it was selling at a price of just over $1,000, considerably cheaper than their version. As a result, their version is kind of dead in the water, and so what's happened is they've come out with another version. I'm trying to mess while I'm talking. Maybe I shouldn't be doing that. What am I trying to do? I'm trying to increase the size. There we go. Okay. So this version here, the Prife Itera Bio, which has been out for a couple of years, is really doing nothing. And so, with the competition from Olylife, they've been forced to bring out another version at a lower price. And they basically copied the P90. So, let's go, first of all, Itera Bio Lite to Bio, and I'm going to show you that this one is a much better buy than this one, because Prife have been forced to greatly reduce their price. Now, in order to do that, they've got to have some excuse for doing that. And you're going to see those excuses. I'm calling them excuses. They might call them reasons in this comparison chart. So there's not very much in the way of difference, even by their own chart. So there's mainly these two things here, and there's also these two words here, slightly different but really meaningless. But let's stay on these two first. So let's start with the sterilisation and deodorisation of the feet and the machine. Okay, so this version has a hood, so your feet go underneath that. And as a result, it is very difficult to clean. A lot of clinics have complained about that because these are used in clinics. And they've said that that hood is really not a good idea. But because of the hood, they do need to have this sterilisation to try and keep it clean. This is much, much better. It's a copy of the P90 because you can just wipe it down real easy. You've not got a hood in the way and what have you. You can see it and you can clean it very easily. So this is a difference. But this one has this UV light to clean. But it's totally unnecessary on this one. So it is a difference, but it's not an advantage having the hood and the UV light. There's no advantage there. It's actually a disadvantage. So it's a difference where this one is worse than this one. Okay. Second difference that they have on all this list of stuff is that they're saying that this one gives out negative ions into the feet here. Now, the people that I know that are using this are not aware of seeing any evidence of that, but let's assume that they do. I'm not sure that that's much of a deal. Breathing in negative ions is definitely healthy. Putting them into your feet, I don't know. We're not hearing any extra results because of it. Not even seeing it happen. So, okay, let's give it's putting out negative ions into your feet. That's the difference. All right. This one is nearly $3,500 more than this one. The difference is, even if you give that that's a positive difference, and I don't, really do not justify spending any more money, let alone nearly $3,500. So I would say this one is by far the better option than this one. Now there are a couple of other differences stated on here. So it says powerful intensity design, and then on the light one it says mild enhanced version, and on the Itera Bio it says enhanced version. Now what it's enhanced over I don't know, because the Bio was the first one. So it's enhanced over what? It's just marketing hype, it means nothing. Okay, so I think they're saying mild enhanced just to try and justify the nearly $3,500 price difference here. I don't think there's going to be any difference, but they've got evidence that it has. Great, I'd like to see it. I bet they haven't. Okay, and then the final point is calling the Light second generation and the Bio third generation. Now this is crazy, makes no sense, and it's just marketing hype again. So the third generation one came out a couple of years ago, and the brand new, not even out yet version, they're calling second generation. That makes no sense. Imagine that your iPhone 12 comes out, and then the following year, the next iPhone comes out, and they call it an iPhone 11. It's the 11th generation, even though it's after the 12th. It makes no sense. So I really feel that they're saying that to justify that this one being more expensive. They're calling it third generation, and this one second generation. So, but what are the differences? These are all the differences. Yeah, it's not much. Okay, so my conclusion then, if you want to buy a Prife device that's better than the ones, then that would be the one to buy, because it's $1,300 in the US. It varies in price in various other places. A little bit more in Australia and New Zealand, but it's $1,300 in the US. So that would be the far better buy if you want a Prife. However, let's compare it to the Olylife. So this is the Olylife version, and as you see, it looks very, very similar to the soon-to-be come-to-market Prife version. Basically, they've copied it because they've been killed in the market by this device. So they've copied this one. And they're allowed to do that because they have the license the same as Olylife, so I'm not complaining that they've copied it. They're allowed to do that, but that's what they've done. You can see that very clearly. Now, before you listen to my comments, let's have a listen to the comments made by one of their top people. He's one of the trains, a large number of the distributors. He was asked a question by this Gearish about the Itera Bio Lite. Is it comparable or better than the Olylife P90? So John Scavola says this. He says it's much better. This isn't This is an updated improvement over the older Olylife P90. Let's stop there for a second. So, first of all, the Olylife P90 is less than 12 months old, so it's not particularly old. But the one that it's replacing, the Itera Bio, is a few years old. So actually, that would suggest, according to his thinking here, that this is better than the old, which is a couple of years old, Itera Bio. And yet the Itera Bio is being purported still as the later generation. So, which way is it? Is the old version of the Prife one a later generation, as it claims to be, third generation versus second generation? So that makes no sense. Anyway, how's it better? It says it's got added far infrared and enhanced electronics and safety features. It doesn't actually give any. Well, what's enhanced? What safety features? Is the previous one, the old one, not safe then? It's just blurb. Plus, the Itera Bio Lite is supported by Prife's great stockist network. Yeah, I would have to disagree that their stockist network is great. They've just had all their stockists in Canada are no longer able to receive Prife's devices, and their warranty is not quite worthless, but it's a real challenge to get a wand or any device bought through the stockist in Canada replaced. You literally have to drive to the stockists as a minimum. Anyway, so that's what his reasons are for being much better. Now I want to explore that a little bit. You need to first of all know a little bit about John Scavola, who's doing the training for many of the people in Prife, and a few more facts. So let's look at them. So this is a screenshot from a conversation before they had the Itera Bio Lite. And somebody's asking about the regular Bio. This is the question. They said, hi, does the Foot Bio use PEMF and far infrared as well as terahertz? So John Scavola, answering that question, says this: the Itera Bio does not use terahertz/PEMF. It utilises a combination of more advanced bioresonant technologies. So you've got this same language, more advanced. But he's denying it uses PEMF. Now that's not correct. We're going to see that in a minute. So it's not correct. So John Scavola is giving false information here, which even he, and you're going to see that in a minute, agrees is false later. So he doesn't know that the two frequencies that are being used are terahertz and PEMF. He doesn't know that. By the way, he's been selling this product for at least a year at this point, and he doesn't know that. But he's stating it as a fact that it doesn't have, and he's stating that instead of PEMF, it uses more advanced technologies. Okay, so he goes into that then in a little bit of detail and making some other little claims there. Okay, so that is what John Scavola is saying to this Maria, who's asking the question here. So she says here, so no PMF. I want you to note this, so no PMF, because I'm going to show you this same conversation in a minute. And then this guy, Pang, whatever, says, from what I know, it has no PMF. So that's the conversation from a WhatsApp chat. I'm going to show you how that conversation develops right now. Okay, so this is the same conversation blown up. So again, Maria saying so no PMF, him saying from what I know no PMF, but you'll see John Scavola has deleted his message here. Why? Because this guy, Pang, says, hi everyone, I've just had confirmation from MLS, our manufacturer for Iron Shield and Itera Bio, that the Bio does indeed come with PMF. So this was a revelation after over a year that they suddenly discovered that the device that they've been selling does have PMF, contrary to John Scavola's denials. Now, how did they find out it had PMF? Because I told them. So I told him it had PMF. That's why John Scavola was asking the question, because this girl here is one of the people that I told it had PMF. So she went to him and asked. He said no, it doesn't have PMF. As a consequence of this conversation, the top people, the corporate people in Prife went and asked the manufacturer, found out it actually did put that message out because they didn't know that. And that's where Pang discovered it did have PMF, because the corporate from Prife suddenly discovered it did put that message out. So that's how they found out. They found out it had PMF through me. John Scavola just deleted his message and carried on business as normal, making stuff up, which is what they do, in lieu of lack of information. Now, I'm not blaming John Scavola particularly, totally, but he doesn't have the information because he's not giving it. So when they're not giving information, they tend to make stuff up, and John Scavola makes a lot of stuff up. So here we can see a Prife document showing the unique patents, or patents, depending on how you pronounce it there, but the unique patents for the Itera bio. And if you look through them, I'm not going to go through them all, but you're going to see that there's nothing very impressive about any of them patents. Okay? Nothing to, they're just basic, everyday patents, nothing special. So, what is special then about their Itera bio versus the Itera bio Lite versus P90? Nothing there. There's nothing there. So where is this advanced technology? Imagine it would have a patent you would think. No. So what's he talking about when he says it's got more advanced therapy? Well, we can take that with the same credibility as when he says it didn't have PMF. Okay, so they're making claims without evidence, basically. So, my conclusion from all of this, the Olylife P90 is generating staggering results. Now, there are some cases where we've got people that have a P90 and a Itera bio. Not the Lite, because that's not out yet, the Itera bio. And so far, every time we've had someone with both, while I imagined that they would have basically the same result, that's not the case. We've had multiple occasions where people have used the Itera bio for a while and they've had some good results, but certain things it hasn't dealt with. And then they've got the P90 and it's dealt with the things that the bio couldn't deal with. Will the Itera bio Lite be more powerful than the bio? I doubt it. According to them, it's using an older generation technology, so it's probably not going to be as good as the bio. And so since we're already getting better results with the P90 than the regular bio, I'm quite sure we're going to get better results with the P90 than the Lite bio. So on top of that, one of the big differences is that you're going to get the P90 considerably cheaper. So it's just over $1,000 in the US rather than $1,300. So you're going to save $260 odd by getting the P90, which is a considerable amount of money. And my belief, and one of the reasons that I left Prife and went to Olylife, is Olylife do a better build quality. Certainly the one is far superior to anything that Prife have ever produced in terms of build quality. So I can't comment on the Lite because I've not seen it yet. We've not got any records of it, and that's another problem. The Itera bio Lite has no evidence of results. It's brand new. It's not even out yet. I'm speaking at the beginning of October. I believe it's supposed to be out in the next few weeks, so it will be out soon. But at this point, it hasn't got any history of success, unlike the P90, which has been kicking the ass of all the other products in Malaysia and now over in the West in terms of results. It's just a phenomenal device and at a phenomenal price. So, my conclusion is that the P90 is the one to go for. I back that up by I left Prife in order to come to Olylife. So, I was with Prife. I could have stuck in like many of the distributors have done in Prife. They're stuck in because they've got commitments to that company. I'm not committed to a company. I'm committed to results and my customers and my clients, which is why I left. So, I highly recommend that you go with the P90, and if you want more information, I'm very happy to connect with me or some of my team who may give you this video. Alright, hopefully I've given you some information that will help you to make the best decision possible for yourself.